Imagine, in the heart of one of the greatest empires in history, where every decision of the king could change the fate of millions, a young boy stands alone with faith and courage against the laws and threats of the world and survives. This boy is Daniel, a young man from the land of Judah, a land of ashes and stories of the past, brought into Babylon. He entered the palace of King Nebuchadnezzar, a place filled with golden columns, majestic decorations, and vast halls, where the sounds of bells, horses' hooves, and whispers of servants mingled. Every corner of the palace was full of splendor, power, and danger. Even the slightest mistake could be fatal, and every glance from the king could mean life or death. Daniel, with a steadfast heart and unwavering faith, prepared to uphold his principles among enemies and threats. He knew that loyalty to God and adherence to his values were more important than any position or royal food. When King Nebuchadnezzar ordered Daniel and his friends to eat the king's delicacies, everyone expected them to submit and conform to palace life. But Daniel, with unmatched courage, said, "Test us. Give us simple food for 10 days and then compare us with the others." The king and his officials were skeptical at first. They thought 10 days would not be enough for these young men who had just arrived at the palace. But after 10 days, something astonishing happened. Daniel and his friends appeared healthier, stronger, and more radiant than all the other youths in the court. Even Daniel's wisdom and insight caught the king's attention. He proved that true power comes from faith and commitment to principles, not from status, wealth, or royal food. Yet Daniel's destiny did not stop there. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar had a strange and mysterious dream, a dream that none of the advisors or wise men could interpret. The king's heart was filled with anxiety, for he had seen a vision that threatened the future of the empire and his own life. Night after night, the dream haunted him, and during the day, he could find no peace. In this moment, Daniel, trusting in God and guided by divine wisdom, not only interpreted the king's dream, but also revealed the imminent dangers and offered a path to save the empire. The king was astonished and appointed Daniel to high positions within the court. Daniel's wisdom and faith influenced the entire court, and his name spread throughout Babylon. But success always invites envy. Daniel's enemies in the court, jealous of his popularity and power, devised a wicked plan. They enacted a law stating that anyone who prayed without the king's permission would be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel, however, did not abandon his faith. By night, in silence, by the light of candles, he whispered his prayers, placing his heart in God's hands. Night fell, and he was thrown into the lion's den. The lions opened their mouths, their eyes glinting, and every breath echoed in the silent night. Yet no harm came to him. God preserved Daniel's faith and courage, showing that even against the fiercest threats, the power of faith is unmatched. The next morning the king hurried to the den and found Daniel unharmed. This miracle astonished not only the king but also all the people of Babylon, demonstrating the power of true faith in God, even to Daniel's enemies. But Daniel was not just a brave young man. He was someone who preserved his wisdom under pressure, confronted his enemies, never feared the king's power, and exemplified true faith. His story shows us that even in the most desperate moments, when everything seems against us, faith can change the course of life. Each of us faces challenges and dangers in life that may seem unbearable. Yet Daniel's story reminds us that with faith, wisdom, and courage, we can overcome all obstacles and shape our destiny. Daniel proved that true power lies not in wealth, position, or physical strength, but in faith, patience, wisdom, and courage that flows from God. This young man from Judah, in the heart of Babylon, showed that faith can make the impossible, defeat fear, and bring victory even in the darkest moments. And this is only the beginning of Daniel's story. For after every trial, there are more lessons of courage, faith, and divine wisdom waiting for humanity